Hey guys, welcome. We're just getting set up, getting started. Hang on for just a few minutes if you don't mind. This is all new. Hope y'all like the new studio, the new setup. We've been putting in some work the last couple weeks. Glad to see you guys coming in. Appreciate it. Good seeing everybody. Hope y'all had a great evening so far, or at least a good day. It's still early. We're waiting for Jessica. I feel like we're always waiting for Jessica, aren't we? But yeah, so tonight is the launch of the multi-stream. So now we are live on Periscope, on Facebook, on my profile, as well as my personal Facebook page. So this is an experiment. Jessica and I have been playing with this for a little while, looking at different options, and we're pretty excited about this. Also, I upgraded the video and the lighting. You can see me sitting in my office in our spare room. Extremely exciting. So just got back from my son's basketball game about 15 minutes ago. And I think we have Jessica. I see her fixing her hair, so let me give her a second.
It's gonna get.
Hey, there we go. There she is.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Yeah, this is way better.
Way better.
Yeah, I like this a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, this is going to be much more of a conversation and being able to, you know.
Yeah.
Even my son, the expert live streamer earlier today, was like, "Yeah, you can't really talk to yourself all night. That sucks."
Oh.
So
I'm here. I'm here for emotional support.
Yeah, no, it's working too. We've got everybody here all across we've got my personal Facebook profile, my public profile, and Periscope as well.
Nice.
So it's working.
Yeah.
It's actually working. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I am too. It's good.
Did you bring a beverage?
I did. Yeah, it's a beer.
Whoa.
Sorry. Okay.
I feel like we should do like a beer review or a beer conversation.
I would love that. I enjoy beer.
Okay. I'm not opposed to it.
Okay.
I think I've said this to you. Never intended the I see we got a like already. I never intended it to be just like a pure whiskey deal.
Yeah, we could do all kinds of bottom. I'm willing to drink bottom shelf beer. Like, let me tell you about Old English.
Oh my God. I honestly, so I'm gonna tell you a funny story. And since we're live, I'm telling America. So back, oh good Lord, this would have been 96 or so. I think I had just turned 21, and I've told you part of this. Spent part of the summer living in Birmingham with my cousin, who now hates me like most of my cousins do. And I know I'm
so it goes.
I'm just as shocked as you are. So we had your typical shitty bachelor pad apartment, and I know you're familiar with Birmingham, but for people who aren't, our apartment was in Five Points. We were literally a block and a half from Five Points Music Hall, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And there was and maybe you'll remember this, there is a taco chain in Atlanta and around Georgia that has something like 1,000 beers.
Yeah.
And they had this game where they would give you like a personal passport that they would keep at the store.
Right. And you could
get in there to check off the boxes. Mm-hmm. And then we had an Indian grocer that was like 2 blocks behind us who we literally could make requests.
Okay.
And so because we were stupid ass 21-year-olds, we would come up with it. And for the youngins in the house, this is pretty much the dawn of the internet where you couldn't like Google shit and like, hey, let's find some obscure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had to like think about, what's an obscure beer or something that we hadn't heard of before. And so each week we would go in there with some bullshit beer. And the one I remember the most, which I don't think I've ever had since, was Steinlager,
Okay.
which is New Zealand beer.
Okay.
And it's basically trying to think of it's basically like the New Zealand version of Rolling Rock.
Okay. So yeah.
It's like water with a buzz.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had that, but we would go in there like literally every week and we would come up with some stupid ass beer from like Finland or South Africa or some nonsense. And I think he got the game after a while and would start, and I swear to God, you would come in there a few days later and there'd be a 6-pack of it in the cooler.
Yeah.
Like dude never failed to deliver.
Amazing.
So it really was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think some people are still catching on with us and this is kind of crazy. Like I see myself, but it's not as let's say everybody sees my Liverpool flag in the back.
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't hang just for tonight. That's up there all the time. They sent that to me when I became a member this year.
Oh, really? That's
cool.
So
I got a membership kit. Actually, I think I actually have it sitting over here somewhere. My buddy Dan Goodkin, shout out Dan, as a gift. I'm doing this backwards.
Nice.
So they send you this in the mail, and there's a whole bunch of goodies, and there's like a lanyard. I don't know what the hell I need a lanyard for. There was a like a magnet, like a big magnet. There was like a whole big welcome kit description of all the stuff that you get. Your membership card, and then the flag, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, no, that is really cool.
So I will see. Jeff, what is your beverage? So Jeff, the beverage tonight is my favorite mixed drink, which is a whiskey ginger.
Nice.
And I made it I figured I needed to make it with VOB because that's
the bottom shelf.
Our bottom shelf discussion today. So it is a whiskey ginger with VOB. Very old Barton for those of you who, so appreciate the question. Appreciate you guys joining us. So we're going to do, should we start off with a really fun thing or should we move on to some conversations and go back to the dramatic reading?
Oh, maybe let's start off with something.
Okay.
To talk a conversation.
So I do one thing because you're a foodie and you're a better cook than I am. We have had one of the questions that we got from our viewers was a good comfort food recipe during the pandemic. So you're a much better cook than I am. So not to put you on the spot, I see the look in your face. You're going to be like, why did I agree to go on video for this?
No, it's fine.
Now I can see your facial expressions.
No, because I'm going to be that jerk that's like, I've actually been eating pretty healthy during this time.
Oh, God. You're one of those.
And like I'm working out and stuff.
You're one of those. All right. So
the thing at the beginning, I knew that the one thing I could do is try to be healthy.
Yeah.
Throughout this, so I was like, okay, and that's what I've done. But I mean, I have lapses. So. Okay, like a lot of pizza, booze. Yeah, I was drinking a lot. Yeah.
So I will ask you this, and I'm probably not allowed to, but I'm going to anyway. That never stops me. Have you gained or lost weight?
Lost.
Really?
Yeah.
How much have you lost?
Well, that's kind of a long story because I was on some medication. I was on some medication that made me gain some weight, and then I lost a lot of that weight. So I'm probably maybe 10 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah. But like I said, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was like drinking a lot. Not like I was a nervous wreck. On the inside. I couldn't tell my kids that I was a nervous wreck. So I would,
All right, so not to change the subject, but we do this anyway. And maybe the fun part about this is that people will see this is going to be more like our phone conversations than me talking into a phone and staring at my picture. So let's ask this: how have your kids dealt with this whole pandemic thing? Like, or anything different? I know they're younger, at least two of them, but like, how are they dealing with this whole thing?
They're doing pretty well. The other day, my son said that he wanted friends in real life, and that made me kind of sad. But he's doing well. He got his report card, and I was really expecting him to like fail everything because he doesn't pay attention because he's literally being droned to nonstop, and he's 8, so he can only stay still so long. But he did pretty well. So they just want to go to the playground all the time, and we do that. I don't know what they really miss. Traveling, I guess, but they're doing pretty well because they are young and they have each other, which is really I'm thankful for. So they keep each other
and so occupied. Are you? And we've talked about this privately, but I know you keep. How are you? And I'm trying to do something that I probably shouldn't be doing.
Oh no.
So. How restrictive are you as far as your quarantining? And I'm not trying to out you, so if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
No. I go to the grocery store.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're on the 1 to 10 scale. You're probably like a 9.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't begrudge anyone for wanting to do other things. Like I just do it because that's what we do. I mean, we do go to the playground. There are other opportunities to interact with people, but it's outside, so I feel a lot better about it. And I mean, I've gone to Target a couple of times, but other than that, I stayed at home.
Yeah, I would give us a 7.
Yeah.
And it's only because of my son's sports activities and stuff where, like he had a game tonight. And
yeah.
So you had to keep the mask on and, we socially distance, and they have a very restricted, and some schools are more than others. And it's an interesting dynamic here because the public schools have a requirement by the state, like as far as, how they can travel and who's allowed into events and whatever. Private schools don't. And so with the private schools, they can pretty much do what they want to do.
Right.
So like when either at our home games or when we travel to a public school, we have to be on a list in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And they check you off the list, and there's social distancing in the gym, and everybody has to have a mask on. I actually had, like, the game last night, I actually had a cop in the gym.
Oh, wow.
Kind of just not, I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel like he was like policing everybody, but he was sort of just keeping an eye on you.
It's good to have because people go wild,
Yeah. But I didn't see last night. I don't remember seeing anybody last night who didn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
And then tonight we played a private school, and I'm not going to out anybody. So if anybody's watching from Tallahassee, it was the private school that everybody here knows about. It's all the rich white kids, and they have no restrictions at all. And they required a mask, and they did do the forehead temperature check.
Yeah.
So I'll give them that much. But once you got in the gym, it was a free for all.
Yeah.
And like all the parents from their school were all bunched together in a group, and hugging each other and doing all that nonsense. And we were kind of off in the corner, and most of our parents were actually on the other side of the gym, all spread out.
Yeah.
Because we're all used to our
or
whatever.
Right.
And they were not following that protocol whatsoever. And so I'm just going to say that we live in the only Republican part of Tallahassee. And I'm just going to leave that. So y'all can make what you want to make out of that.
Maybe they already got it,
It's literally what my wife said. And then she goes, or they can all afford to go to the doctor and get treatment, so it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. So
that's right.
So back to the original question, which was, give us a decent pandemic comfort food recipe.
This time of year, I mean, chili's good. Any kind of like
Yeah.
braised meat stew is really good. And it's something that you can freeze and it's relatively, economical to make. So that's what I would suggest. What I've been eating a lot of is a lot of roasted vegetables. And I roast chickens often. Deer chili, that sounds really good. I love deer.
Yeah, my boy Marky Mark probably has eaten quite a bit of deer chili.
I like deer jerky. It's like my favorite jerky.
Yeah, it's so that's funny that he said chili. You both said chili. So there's a mix at Publix. I said Public at Publix that I like to get, which is called Darn Good Chili.
Yeah.
And it's a dry mix, so it's a dehydrated. It's the beans and
gotcha.
and et cetera, that you then boil. And I made some, I think last week, that I then added ground beef to and my own seasoning mix. And I really liked it, but I sort of got this sense from the rest of the family that I probably was the only one who liked it. During my life. I don't know. You know how you pick up on that stuff where like I snarfed it down and it was like done in like 5 minutes and they'd have like 3 spoonfuls each.
Well, what is your comfort food during all this?
Well, unfortunately, cheeseburgers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But then cheeseburgers are sort of my all-time comfort food.
Yeah.
Eat all the time. I will say, I've talked about this on Twitter before. Part of my weight loss process in the past, so you know this, so for the viewers who don't know this, I basically have lost just about 40 pounds since last August.
That's amazing.
It needed to happen.
Yeah.
And part of it was keto and part of it was Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
Keto is really great for jump starting and 15 pounds in 2 weeks kind of a deal.
Yeah.
But keto can be difficult to sustain because it's
really bad for you over time. Yeah,
that's the other part.
Like in the short term, it's great.
It's great. I think it's really good. Like I said, the 15 to 20 pounds in 2 weeks, it's great for.
Yeah.
The problem with keto is beyond the long-term stuff, and you're right, is sugar kicks you out of keto. Like more than a certain amount of sugar.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get into ketosis for people who don't.
Right.
And so anything, and I can't remember off the top of my head what the amount of sugar is, but it's not a whole lot of sugar.
Yeah.
And so for people who don't know, for the uninitiated, the idea of being in ketosis is that your body, instead of burning carbohydrates and sugar, burns fat for energy. That's essentially the short version of it. And so it's really great for jump starting. And the upside of keto is you can't be hungry because you can eat unlimited amounts of food as long as it's within
your fats and proteins and
exactly. And so you're never hungry. The bad part of keto is what we've already talked about. So I did keto for probably 20 pounds and then I actually lost more than I'm back up to about 210 or so. Then the rest of that was Weight Watchers, which is really good, but Weight Watchers is really restrictive. And so I'm telling all this for people who are like, what the fuck is he talking about? Sorry, Mom. Is that eggs are actually a 0-point food on Weight Watchers. And so I have bags of I buy like the hard at the store. And then I have an egg boiler. I don't even know how you call it, but you can boil like 6 or 8 of them.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then I started making fried egg sandwiches.
Okay.
And when I was for the uninitiated, I used to be a cook back like long before I got into any of this stuff. I was a cook at a bunch of different restaurants, including Cracker Barrel. And Cracker Barrel, one of the specialties of the house is a fried egg sandwich, or there's also like I can't remember now what it's called, but it's putting a fried egg in the middle of a piece of bread. Like
gotcha.
I can't remember what we call it now. So I used to make my own fried egg sandwiches with cheese and bacon. And, I was 19, 20 years old and you could eat 9,000 calories a day.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
So now I make fried egg sandwiches though, and I'll make like 3 eggs. I'll fry them up, season them. I toast the bread. and then put a slice of cheese on it, like Velveeta or whatever, because Velveeta is like 1 point on Weight Watchers.
Okay.
And so the whole thing with 2 slices of Wonder Bread, slice of Velveeta, and 3 eggs is like 5 points.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's actually one of my comfort food.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the big one, honestly. That and wheat thins. We call them crack thins in my house.
Yeah. They do go down really easily. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like a serving of wheat thins is like 4 or 5 points on Weight Watchers. And so you get, it's easy to eat 20 or 30 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the serving is 15 or something. It's weird that I know all this, but it's the stuff that you pay attention to when you're trying to keep track of your points.
Hire you?
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oprah should hire me anyway, just because I'm like a really cool guy. Yeah, just because I'm like a great human being.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was the one. I know that was one of the questions that I got, but those were the 2 big ones.
I think it's a good question. I love to hear what people are eating all the time, pandemic or not. It just
that and soup. Honestly, I'm a big soup guy.
I'm not a soup. Yeah, no.
When you grow up really poor, a can of Campbell's soup is like $1 or whatever. That's a meal.
Yeah.
Chunky soup's like $1.
Uh-huh.
So I grew up on that kind of stuff. So I said really poor. We weren't like, selling our possessions to eat dinner, but let's just say we knew where the $5 taco nights were in town.
Yeah.
That's a true story. That's a funny story I'll tell one day. So those are the 2 big ones. I'm trying to think of something else that I've been eating a lot of, but that's honestly it. My problem is I love to eat.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm an emotional eater. So like when I get
mm-hmm.
say I get anxious or I get upset or I get nervous or whatever, and I start like eating a shit ton of food.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
So, and we had Hardee's last night after the game, which was
I haven't been to a Hardee's in an eon.
I had neither.
To get biscuits there in the morning.
They don't have them in South Florida, and so we hadn't been to one in many years. But there's one here in Tallahassee. There's one downtown, and the whole there's probably not another one for like 500 miles.
Oh, wow.
But there's one here because we're a college town, so we get a lot of these.
Yeah, a lot of chains.
Like we have two Whataburgers. Like we have because we're a college town, right?
Yeah.
So last night on the way home from the game, we hit up Hardee's, and I had Hardee's for the first time in years, and it was damn good, by the way.
Yeah,
it was really good. So that was the other one. So the other one that people want to talk about, and I got more than one question on this, and we talked about this earlier today, is the pardon thing, and it's kind of weird. So I've seen a lot of different takes on this, and I'm going to start off by saying I didn't go to law school. I didn't even go to Twitter law school.
Which is the premier law school.
Yeah, isn't that where Jenna Ellis
medical school?
Like, Twitter law school. Yeah. Did you see that profile of her, by the way? Was it New York Times?
No, I don't read anything about her because it's just...
There was a profile in her of New York Times. I think it was yesterday or Wednesday. And it pretty much made the point that Saul Goodman was a better and more competent lawyer than Jenna Ellis. School of life experiences, right? For real. And I guess apparently she had been like a deputy county prosecutor for like a month.
Okay.
And pled out a bunch of misdemeanor cases. Mm. And then she was in private practice for like a month and was involved in 1 or 2 cases, and then conned her way into one of those online Christian schools, being like a con law professor or something.
Oh, okay. Is it? Oh no! What happened? Is anyone there?
I have no idea what just happened. Sorry, guys.
He's all alone.
Yeah, that was weird. I think my PC or the browser crashed, which was probably an improvement because I think everybody's like, oh shit, we'll just try to listen to Jessica anyway.
Nobody wants to listen to me. It's okay.
Actually, I just realized the benefit of this is when we have tech issues is in the past we had a tech issue with Periscope and the whole thing would crash and then the whole thing was done. But at least now when I do something dumb, everybody can see you.
And I'm just like, oh, where did Jacob go?
You're going.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
No, so it was really funny, and there were quotes from people who were members of the I guess this was in Colorado, members of the Colorado bar who pretty much were like, she never actually did anything, like, you know, and now suddenly she's the president's legal advisor or whatever the hell it is that she actually is.
It doesn't surprise me though, because it's the blind leading the blind.
No, but he only hires the best people, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
All right, yeah, my boy. Okay, yeah.
Hi.
That sounds right. Yeah. So it was something crazy like that. Andrew, thanks, man. It was, I don't know. It's this bizarre world, and this wasn't on our topic list, but this bizarro world that these people who literally this bizarro world that we live in where people with zero qualifications or skills of any kind like get these positions that you have like no idea what the hell is going on.
Yeah, I know.
So, but again, the funny thing is it's Trump only hires the best people, except for, you know, when he doesn't.
Which is everybody, yeah.
By the way, the funny thing is we have several viewers on my personal Facebook feed, so this should actually be fun.
Oh no.
I'm gonna get angry comments tomorrow.
I know, that's what I was gonna say.
So there was a reason why we were talking about this. Now I totally forgot the whole Jenna Ellis and legal things and all this kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you have now? What was that?
Oh, this is just sparkling water.
Oh.
I switch it up. I like to stay hydrated.
Sparkling water. Come on. What is that? I
have the beer as well. Like I have beer beverages. Okay.
All right. We're just checking.
Mm-hmm.
So the pardon. So back to the pardon. So I find this to be a really interesting thing because, and I didn't Google any of this. I didn't like have time to read like, you know, pardon law or peruse legal Twitter or whatever. So anybody who wants to chime in, I'll definitely hear you out.
I read a Time magazine article. That's the expertise I'm bringing to the table.
That's better than me as usual. So I come at this from both directions, right? And I try not to be the guy who reflexively says Trump's an idiot, everything he does sucks and whatever, because I don't want to get sucked into that hole.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, I'm torn on this because I think I understand, and I'm not going to pretend that I'm a deep thinker, but I think I understand the logic behind the president's ability to pardon absolutely. And so I don't want to set a precedent where it's just like the whole Supreme Court thing, right? Like I don't want to get into the whole Joe Biden pack in the Supreme Court tonight, because we're going to have 239 Supreme Court justices within about a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get into all that, but I do, when you start setting these precedents that you can't go back on, you know, you start saying, well, the president can and can't pardon this person or that person, that makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying anybody is suggesting that he shouldn't, like, that he doesn't have the right to do it, okay? But there are some people who are sort of verging on that, right?
Yeah.
Going, no, he doesn't have the right to do that. No, he literally does.
No, he does.
He can pardon my cat if he wants to.
Yeah.
You should pardon my cat for you're keeping me awake most nights. Freaking Oliver. So we've talked about this on the broadcast before. So we have a new cat, Oliver, who I've shared some pictures of before. He's a shelter cat, for those who don't know. Like it's like, so again, I said this earlier, this is like our phone calls. Like we sort of have like an idea or topic, and then we talk about something like has nothing to do with what we were just talking about. So Oliver was a shelter cat who I believe, had been brought to the shelter, either was born in the shelter or had been brought there as a baby. And so basically he's 2. I think he's 2. And so he spent his whole life in this shelter. It's a cat shelter here in town. And he's been in a room with like 10 or 12 other cats pretty much his whole life. So it's like a bedroom. So think of like a bedroom and there's like 10 cats in there.
Yeah.
Just if you can even imagine that. And so then we bring him home. We talk about culture shock. We bring him home and, he's got this, to him, it's got to be a mansion. It's half the size of the house we had before. But to him, it's a mansion. And he's very much a nocturnal cat. Thank you, Jesus. And so he sleeps most of the day. And then at night, we call it hunting.
Okay.
So what he does is he finds things around the house and he drags them into the living room. And then he screams at the top of his lungs until you come find what he has. So like last night, one of the things he was hunting was an oven mitt. So he went into the kitchen. He climbed up on the counter in the kitchen, found an oven mitt that I had stashed, dragged it all the way back into the living room. That's where he takes everything. And this is at 3:00 in the morning.
Nice.
And then screams like you're sawing his head off with a butter knife. Screams at the top of his lungs until you come in and see what he has.
Yeah.
So he does this every night. He does it all night. He does it from about midnight to like 4 a.m. It's really amazing.
I'm so sorry.
And I keep telling him that we're about to take him back to Miss Kitty's, and then I get yelled at by my wife. So
yeah.
I'm not allowed to do that. So there's a reason why I was telling you all this, and not just because I'm really tired, because I don't sleep. And the viewers are like, like the viewer count is going down like Trump's credibility. I can literally watch the numbers like it's like the reverse odometer and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my God, no.
Pardons.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's what we were talking about. Pardons. The other side that I find interesting, though, is that what is he pardoning them for?
That's what I wonder. Is it just like in case? I think he knows that they're probably going to come after him. At least the Southern District of New York probably will try. I don't really care, though. I just want them gone. Like if they did something wrong, prosecute them or not. I don't care. I just kind of want them to. They're not going to fade into oblivion, but that's kind of what I want. Like just enough. Just let them go.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, Trump is like that shitty girlfriend or boyfriend who you just like, you're so over. And like, you're just like, look, dude, like, I mean, I don't care what you have to say. I'm done. Like, just go.
Yeah, just go.
My God, just go.
Yeah. Like, I would be happy if he just went and did his thing and made his media empire. And right. That's how you hear about him. Not this, like, every hour the election's rigged. He's, not giving subtle threats to state officials in Georgia, things like that. It's just go. Just
and make
your media empire and come back in 2024 if you want. I mean, just do that. It's so
as a society, or I feel like we're all sort of, and I hate to use this analogy, so maybe I shouldn't, but we're all abused, and there's sort of this. We're just over him, and we are never, ever, ever getting back together, Donald Trump. Like we are never. You're done. Future guest Josh Gillespie, absolutely. Y'all viewers and readers of Monticello should be keep your eye out for Josh in a future episode. Just saying. Foreshadowing. Is that foreshadowing?
Sure.
We'll go with it. So I mean, don't you think here's the idea though, don't you think that if he pardons the kids in particular, and by the way, a bunch of smarter people than me on social media pointed out, wait, hold on, Josh. I thought I was your agent. Did I just get fired? Did I get fired on my own broadcast?
You got demoted, yeah, big time.
I think I did. Damn, that's cold. Thanks, Josh. I thought we were friends. I forgot what I was just going to say. Josh's brilliant take just totally.
You were talking about the kids.
Yeah. So the irony is that, you know, yeah, demoted on my own broadcast. It would only ever happen to me. Is that he mentioned the 3 kids, but he didn't mention Tiffany.
Well, because Tiffany doesn't exist. She's a figment of our imaginations.
As I pointed out to 1 or 2 people, I guarantee you he doesn't even know she exists. Like, he doesn't even remember.
No.
Like, they have like Thanksgiving and shit at Trump Tower, and Trump's like,
who's that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who brought the blonde? You know. I was trying to stage whisper that. It didn't work. Okay. Who brought the blonde? It's like, sir, that's your daughter. What?
Oh God, yeah, no, Tiffany and Barron. I don't want to talk about Barron because he seems like a cute kid. Like, he's 10 feet tall.
By the way, yeah.
And he's like into anime and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of sweet.
Here's the funny thing: is Barron's probably going to be like the only normal Trump.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you, he's going to be the only normal Trump of the whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which is kind of funny, but
I'm rooting for Barron. Yeah.
We all should be, and I'm being completely serious at this point. Like, this is why Josh is my friend.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. So I didn't say it because God don't like ugly, but yeah.
But yeah, so then doesn't that make the argument that Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and future girlfriend are all like, they've all committed some kind of illegal act? No, I hear you. I don't think you're wrong in that, but I think subtly you're telling the world that there's something to pardon them for.
Yeah.
Are you not?
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is I don't know that he really deploys logic that much. I mean, that's what you and I would think, but I don't
spell logic.
I don't know.
The quiet one really need to worry about. Yeah, thanks, Josh. Thanks for putting that in my head. This is like a Minority Report scene where we got to take Barron out now just to make sure he doesn't become a serial killer.
Oh, no.
Just because of Josh Gillespie. Thanks, Josh. Josh just outed him.
Oh, bless his heart, Barron.
So what am I missing on the pardon take?
I don't know. I mean, when I read about the pay for play pardon thing that came out a couple of days ago, that it was kind of crazy. Yeah, take out all future trying. Yeah. But I don't, like I said, I just, one way or the other, if he wants to pardon his kids for crimes that, they probably committed that we don't yet know about, that's fine. Right. Let's just move on. MoveOn.org. I'm like, just
MoveOn.org.
We just have to move on.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of moving on, you want to do some dramatic reading?
I don't know if I'm quite ready for this, but I will. Yes.
I don't
know that I can really bring my theater chops to this.
Well, I'll go first, and for those who've been wondering what the hell I'm looking at, I have my laptop on my lap here. So
I'm so
my laptop on my lap, so I can actually read the list that we compiled. So hold on, I got to get ready. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Wait. Are you ready for this?
I'm not. I'm not. Oh my God. I can't.
I had to, Josh. Come on.
God. Oh.
I had to. So the irony is I was actually on Amazon trying to find Trump wigs. because my original thought was I was going to do like a wig and do my
dramatic
reading.
Yeah.
And then I saw this and I thought, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Can you just wear it though, like out in public?
Is that like a dare? Is this like a truth or dare kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So I'm going to try to read the first one if I can, as I hear you laughing in my ears. Couple disclaimers for the audience. For those of you who haven't, for those of you who haven't joined us for previous dramatic readings, we don't change anything. So this is entirely cut and pasted. And in fact, what I also did was, if we want to keep going, I actually pulled up his Twitter feed on my laptop. So
oh, Lord.
If we run out of fun things, we can literally just scroll through the last hour or so. So I'm not changing anything. Spelling isn't changed. Grammar isn't changed. Phrasing isn't changed. I'm reading it entirely as is. And if I scream at you, that means it's all caps.
I'm not going to scream because I have 3 kids asleep. So
yeah,
I'll just put some emphasis on the words. Okay.
So I will begin. Are you ready?
Please do.
I feel like I set the stage. The best way to ensure a Kelly Loeffler, is it Loeffler? Did we ever figure out
Loeffler? Loeffler, I think. Yeah.
Loeffler? Yeah, you're right, Josh. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We got to prep the audience. A Kelly Loeffler and Senator David Perdue victory is to allow signature checks in the presidential race, which will ensure, with an I, a Georgia presidential win. Very few votes are needed. Many will be found. Here's the 4, and everyone will rush out and vote.
Oh my God. Oh Lord. Okay. I'll go next. Okay. Very sadly for our nation, it looks like Senator Jim Inhofe will not be putting the Section 230 termination clause into the defense bill. So bad for our national security and election integrity. Last chance to ever get it done. I will veto.
Make America great again.
Rigged election. Oh my God, that's like every other tweet though.
Okay, so for the audience at home who are dwindling now because they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Not what I signed up for.
It's the hat. Oh my God. I can't take you seriously right now.
Jessica is correct. If you do not follow our esteemed president on Twitter, and by the way, I do not, pretty much every 5th tweet is make America great again or rigged election. Yes. And I swear to God, I'm not joking. Go back and look.
It's true.
Literally every 5th or 6th tweet is one of those 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me wanted to add all of those in here. And then I thought,
there's so many though. Please do.
Josh, I'll send you one. Christmas is coming soon. Whistleblowers reveal that the USPS is responsible for tampering with hundreds of thousands of ballots. OANN, that's One American News Network, which also he tags in every single one of his
I know, because that's his new favorite. Yeah.
This longtime Democrat stronghold got rid of massive numbers, especially in swing states, during and before delivery of the ballots. Well-documented evidence. Wow! Wow! Blockbuster testimony taking place right now in Georgia. Ballot stuffing by Dems when Republicans were forced to leave the large counting room. Plenty more coming. But this alone leads to an easy win of the state.
What's crazy about that is that's the exact same thing that Democrats alleged was going to happen.
Literally.
But against okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I get
I love this next one. This next one is funny.
Oh my God. I fucking hate Tom Cotton. Okay. Thank you to Senator Tom Cotton for the really nice words on all that we're doing and have done. We will win. Hope everybody is watching OANN right now. Nobody's watching. I bet a lot of people actually watch them. That's not part of the tweet.
Josh,
other media afraid to show. People are coming forward like never before. A large truck carrying hundreds of thousands of fraudulent, in parentheses, fake ballots to a voting center. Terrible. Save America.
You forgot to yell.
I'm not yet. My kids are asleep. I want it to stay that way.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Mine is playing video games in the next room.
Yeah.
Do something, Brian Kemp, Georgia. You allowed your state to be scammed. We must check signatures and count signed envelopes against ballots. Then call off election. It won't be needed. We will all win.
Impossible result.
That's a tweet, by the way. Just, if you don't know this at home, no way we lost this election.
Oh my God. Okay. Democrats suffered crushing down ballot loss across America at New York Times. This is true. All state houses won. And in Washington, we did great. So I led this great charge. And I'm the only one that lost. Yeah. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. This was a massive fraud, a rigged election. Oh my God.
The 1,126,940 votes were created out of thin air. I won Pennsylvania by a lot. Perhaps more than anyone will ever know. The Pennsylvania votes were rigged. All other swing states also. The world is watching.
Okay. Biden can only enter the White House as president if he can prove that his ridiculous 80 million votes were not fraudulently or illegally obtained. When you see what happened in Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Milwaukee, massive voter fraud, he's got a big unsolvable problem.
No, the 2020 election was a total scam. We won by a lot. And will hopefully turn over the fraudulent result. But we must get out and help David and Kelly, two great people. Otherwise, we are playing right into the hands of some very sick people. I will be in Georgia on Saturday.
Twitter is sending out totally false trends that have absolutely nothing to do with what is really trending in the world. They make it up and only negative stuff. Same thing will happen to Twitter as is happening to Fox News daytime. Also, big conservative discrimination. Is this when people were calling him Diaper Don?
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
I don't even like reading. I just am like, what is this? This is nuts.
No, you know what's funny? When I was going through them like this week and looking for some good samples for the week, it's like the irony is almost too much. Like, and we have more, guys, so don't worry. You don't need to be tuning out.
They're waiting with bated breath, I can tell.
I know, I can. Yeah, you definitely can. But you know what, Josh? I think that's a good idea.
No.
I think no. Listen, we made that a regular. We made this a feature for a reason.
Okay, is it your turn? Whose turn?
I forgot. Oh no, you said big conservative discrimination.
Yeah.
Man, people are like, can we get a refund for this shit? I gave a long news conference today after wishing the military a happy Thanksgiving and realized once again that the fake news media coordinates so that the real message of such a conference never gets out. Primary point made was that the 2020 election was rigged and that I won.
Oh my God. Just saw the vote tabulations. There is no way Biden got 80 million votes. This was a 100% rigged election.
Rigged election!
America first.
I forgot that I added that one in. So the other thing is, for people who don't regularly follow Trump, is about every 10 tweets, it's America first.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, as I was going through, and I went back through today just to go through. Yes, we're gonna designate Jessica as all time. So like, Jessica, you didn't grow up playing flag football in the streets like we did, probably.
I mean, I
But
played it not in the streets, but
we play in the streets.
in a yard.
It's hardcore. You're either streets
Yeah.
or not. So you have all-time quarterback. So all-time quarterback means you're quarterback for each team,
Mm-hmm.
and you get to stay in that position. You don't have to play all these other bullshit positions. So you're now the all-time beat reader for Donald Trump.
Wow.
think that's fair.
I'm so blessed.
You are. This one was funny, and actually, I kind of want to talk about this next one. So,
yeah, this is an interesting one.
I want to read some more, actually, but that says it all about Mattis. Obama fired him. I should have fired him sooner. Did best work after he was gone. World's most overrated general. Yes, exactly. Jessica, you missed so much growing up. I feel bad for you almost. So okay. So let's talk about Mad Dog Mattis, and I know we're not allowed to call him Mad Dog. So my buddy Bird Martin, and so for those of y'all who don't follow Bird on Twitter, it's at Bird Martin. One of the coolest human beings you'll ever meet in your entire life. My boy is a Marine. In fact, he's actually back. I'm doing some work. I don't know. I'm probably not allowed to talk about that, but sorry, Bird. I'm gonna get a text in like 10 minutes, like, dude, you just outed me. But my dude was either in recon or was in one of those groups on the ground in Iraq and served under General Mattis. Who, for the listening audience, should I leave the hat on, by the way, or are we?
Yeah, why not? It's fun.
General Mattis is actually one of my heroes.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Marines anyway. My father was a Marine. Pretty much all the best people I know are Marines. They're usually the best people you'll ever meet. I know we've got some sailors who are watching us who are going to be messaging me here in a second, be like, come on, dude. Rigged election. I may just start doing that randomly. And so I actually got General Mattis's book. So he wrote a memoir. Was it earlier this year?
I don't remember. I know. Okay. I know of it. Yeah.
I feel like we should have talked about this in advance. But did this whole thing about Obama firing Mattis? That whole thing, like, I guess that's the first thing that pissed me off was trying to think of how to explain this. If you're looking at the ideal warrior leader, philosopher, you're probably not going to do much better than Jim Mattis.
Right.
And so this idea that anybody has fired Jim Mattis is so insanely insulting. I actually don't know how to express it.
Yeah.
And you're talking about in the pantheon of men who have served this country at high levels, Jim Mattis is probably in the top 20.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, oh, he should have come out against Trump and he should have campaigned against him and all that kind of stuff.
That's not the way,
That's not how they do things. And if you know anything about the military and military leadership, they take a great deal of pride in serving the nation and not a president or a politician or a party. And that really bugged me. That's actually the reason why I put that on here. Was I felt like that was a good lead-in just to talk about this idea that Donald Trump loves the military and he loves America and he's so patriotic, and yet he constantly shits on men who actually serve America.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women, sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, when XN.
I don't know. I just, that for me is one of those issues that I go on and on and on, that I could probably talk about this for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Do you know who I miss? Rex Tillerson. Because I loved how you could just tell how much he hated that job. And I enjoyed seeing him hate that job.
Yeah, and like you would see him come out of like the West Wing, and he would just be like,
he had the look that we all thought, like,
yeah, like, yeah. I mean, here's a guy that ran, I don't know if it's the biggest
ExxonMobil or whatever.
Yeah, but that's it. But Vindman spoke out because he got called out.
Yeah,
that was sort of the difference, versus Mattis. And listen, I don't speak for General Mattis. I don't pretend to. I've never met the man. He's on my bucket list, though. I keep hitting my buddy Bird up, like, dude, you got to hook me up. Like, I need to connect with General Mattis. But Trump, and I think it's this insecurity thing that Trump has about.
I hope he's like floating in a lazy river and an inner tube somewhere, like drinking some beer, just enjoying all of his millions. That's what I want for Rex.
I mean, the idea that you go from running one of the 5 largest corporations on planet Earth, and then suddenly you're having to kiss Donald Trump's ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how humiliating that would have to be as an experience.
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of the most accomplished business leaders on the planet, and I'm having to pretend that this guy is an actual billionaire.
Or that he's an actual capable of leadership.
Or capable of anything.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the piss on Trump show, although, I get it.
So you come for the Trump hat and stay.
I knew you would like this. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to cross out the last 0 and put a 4 on the end.
Oh, yes. Do that.
Because, he's running again. Okay, yeah. So let's lead into that. That's a good one. So what are your thoughts? So setting aside the possibility that he goes to jail, which at this point, so I don't know. We're going to talk about this. I actually don't know. Josh, this is like an evergreen statement. Like you say this to me like pretty much every day. You guys should read my text messages from Josh. Like, what the fuck is you? No, seriously. So 2024. So we got a good lead in on the comment there. No, I don't think Trump is serious about 2024. If I'm being honest, my personal opinion is, for a guy who is obsessed with winning and losing, and that's a damn good question, Josh. I feel like legal Twitter should chime in on that.
I feel like if it's a felony or something that you can't, I don't know.
Well, Josh would know better than I would. He's smarter than me. Well, my cat's smarter than me. So the fact that Trump lost to Sleepy Joe, who never left his basement, and no, I agree. Yeah. This is kind of where I'm going, Aaron. I agree with you completely.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, and I think we've talked about this in the past, that he didn't want the job in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran to basically build his personal profile and accidentally got elected because he ran against Hillary Clinton, which kind of pissed me off that I didn't throw my hat in the ring, because I could
should have.
Like, seriously, how cool would that be? Like, Jacob Berry. Oh my God. I'd pardon you. Just I'd give you a pardon. Not Josh, though. Josh doesn't get a pardon. We're going to bring Josh on one day.
Yeah, we should.
But he didn't want to be president. And then he got accidentally elected. And he was kind of like, oh, shit. Like, It's like Dave, right? Did anybody see that movie?
Yeah,
Dave?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, suddenly, and then Dave turns out to be like a damn good president. Like,
yeah,
dude from the cop, didn't he run like a Kinko's or something? Wasn't that what?
Yeah.
And dude like ran a Kinko's, and suddenly he's president. He like does all this really cool shit. And like Trump is like gets this job that he didn't want, and basically handled it like he handled running a casino, and pissed the whole thing away. And there ain't a chance in hell he wants to do this again. Like, are you insane? So then the question becomes, and we got a couple of questions on this week. And by the way, you guys, my DMs are open. Some of you know that. Jessica's, I'm not going to comment on because she gets interesting DMs. Don't send her any images. Josh, you need to stop. I'll send those pictures, Josh.
Jessica, that has never happened in my DMs. And I see women on Twitter are always talking about this. And it's not that I want it to happen, but I'm like, never happened.
Okay, so we're getting like, I feel like my man here is like reading. I need to put tinfoil on the hat here. He's like skipping ahead on the questions here. So does the GOP rally behind a Pence campaign, or are they too deep? So I guess that question assumes that there's separation between Mike Pence and Trumpism. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there is. So I think what you end up with is, I think I saw, who was it? Was it Howley or Cotton or somebody who said, please God, I hope Trump runs again. He's the front runner, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I think the honest answer is I don't know.
I would really love Ben Sass or someone, Tim Scott, maybe. I don't know.
So, okay. So Josh, so then the question becomes then, yeah. So for the viewers at home who don't know, besides the fact that Josh is on my kidney list, Josh knows Mike Pence about as well as I do. Josh is from Indiana. Josh knows Mike Pence. So, the idea that you go from the guy who leads these Nuremberg rallies, who is, tweets all this entertaining bullshit, to Mike
Pence, yeah,
who is about as exciting as my drink.
It's pretty exciting, though. You're selling your drink short.
Okay, whiskey gingers are pretty good, by the way. Mike Pence is a soulless mofo. I cleaned it up, Mom. Should we talk about Mike Pence? I feel like we should talk about Mike Pence tonight, but then I kind of don't want to.
He's in Georgia today.
Is he tonight?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should know that since it's, a mile from my house.
He's in Savannah, so my home.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out with your peeps?
I looked so hard to see if I knew anyone in the crowd.
All right, Josh, no. Fair enough. Trump is coming to Valdosta tomorrow, which is like 40 miles. So I'm like really insanely excited about that.
You should go. You have the hat.
Dang. That's why I have you on this show.
You gotta be like sleeper cell, and you can go in there and infiltrate.
I think so. Here's what I honestly think is that outside of Florida, and this leads into another question that we got from somebody. So I think it was Dave. We're to lead into this. Outside of Florida, I think Trumpism is a fad. Dude, I could Periscope this shit, right? Like I should show up and Periscope it.
You should.
Actually, could be kind of fun, but like, I hate crazy people. Josh knows this. No, so outside of Florida, I don't think, Josh, damn it, Josh, stop encouraging me.
I think you should. It's a great idea.
I think Trumpism is a fad. Like, I feel like it's people who are riding the train.
Mm-hmm.
Some people Josh and I know personally who are riding the train for the benefits.
Yeah.
But are looking for any opportunity to jump off the train.
Yeah.
Like a good example is mutual friend of Josh and I, current Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb, who is sort of that Mitch Daniels, smart, thoughtful policy guy, who really has straddled the fence between not really antagonizing Trump, but not being a Trumper. Okay, so Aaron, again, as usual, good question, good point. So I think those are two different things. I think, honestly, my thought process is a fad among politicians. I think the Trumpist base is not going anywhere.
No.
So I think that's a great question again. But I think among, Cotton and Hawley and, Lindsay and...
What happened?
I can't.
I mean, without going into the elephant in the room.
You mean Lindsay?
Yeah. Because he had every opportunity to be like, look, he lost fair and square. We just need to focus on the Senate. And what happened?
No, Dave. So you're right. That's kind of where we're going. So Lindsay, I have a personal theory that I'm not going to share. I'll share with you privately off air. I think Lindsay read the tea leaves in South Carolina. I think, and I haven't been to South Carolina for probably a year or so, but South Carolina is very much a Trump base. Mm-hmm. It's hardcore Trumpists. Lindsey Graham loves being a senator, like I love whiskey gingers. I'm not going to stop, and he's not going to stop either. So I think he made a deal with the devil, and Lindsey, to his credit, is all in. Right? All in, baby. Oh my God, Josh, right? You're so right. As usual, Josh brings the hammer. And so I think he made a calculation of I'm gonna sell my soul because I want to be a senator. And nobody loves. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this. No one is more obsessed with anything more than a politician is obsessed with being reelected.
Yeah.
And I understand that that's sort of like a duh statement, like, oh yeah, no shit, I get it. But it's worth restating that their whole life revolves around being reelected. That's everything. They'll do anything.
Yeah.
So Aaron again brings the hammer. As usual.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I used to kind of think he was funny and I liked him. And
he was. And we had Mariana on a few weeks ago. We got to bring her back. Mariana worked on Lindsay's presidential campaign, and I'm not going to expose any secrets or tell any stories because that's her job to do that. But he's just a politician, and I don't know, Sass. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I want to talk about Sass right now, but
I feel like Sass.
I feel like Ben Sass deserves his own show.
Yeah.
Because I think I feel like that's a complicated comp. He's Trump, but he's not Trump, but he's Trump, but he's not Trump. Like he straddles the line, and I don't know. That might be a complicated problem.
We can do it next week.
Yeah, let's put that on the list.
Or week after next, yeah. Because I actually like him, yeah.
That I have no idea. That I have absolutely no idea.
They just have to be less crazy than the progressives.
Ooh. Boy, you just burned a lot of bridges tonight, didn't you?
I've never claimed to like progressives. I used to be a bleeding heart, and then I grew up,
What happened? Let's talk about that. What happened?
Oh, I don't know. Paying taxes, paying my own way, not having my dad pay my way anymore.
Okay.
And he would always tell me, as you get older, you'll get more conservative. I was like, whatever. You got to care about the people, Dad.
What do you know, Dad? You hate people. What do you hate people?
Why do you hate people? Yeah. And now I'm like, oh, God, you were so right, Dad. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I think 2016 happened, and I got really tired of the hyperbole on the left. Like, he's like literally Hitler. He's not literally Hitler. He's not. And there's just always these wild things that people would say.
Like, he's not literally Hitler. Like, do we have to point that out, or is that pretty obvious?
It should be, but people like to compare him to Hitler and like to compare what we're going through to, like, 1930s Germany all the time. So
yeah, newsflash, it's not.
It's not. So all those kind of things made me want to seek out other like sane people. And the more I listened to sane conservatives, the more I was like, yeah, you know what? You can actually make a lot of sense. I like you.
So let's address Dave's question, because Dave, as usual, brings the heat.
Third party.
So I'm going to start, and then I'm going to give this one to you as well. So for those who don't know, I spent part of my life and my career in the Libertarian Party. If you don't know this, you should listen to Josh Gillespie's very excellent podcast, The Political Nomad, which I'm told my episode was the greatest episode in the history of podcasts, is what I was told. But Josh may have been the one to tell me that, actually. All right, Josh, we're going to talk about this in a second. We're going to talk about this because you and I have talked about this privately, but we're going to talk about this. So I think what a lot of people don't realize is, and I know that I'm kind of a dick about this, but most people really don't understand how elections and campaigns work and how the laws work and how, this idea that anybody is on the ballot and everybody has an equal shot. And, as I've explained on previous podcasts and media appearances, who do you think writes election laws? This is probably true. This is actually true. Yeah, Josh, you've never said anything more true than this.
Experts agree.
But it's like campaign finance laws. Like civilians are surprised that campaign finance laws have made it so normal people can't challenge incumbents.
Right.
Well, who the hell do you think wrote the law? Like, they're not going to write laws to make it easy to lose. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with ballot access laws. Like, in most states, it's so impossible to make the ballot, to qualify for the ballot. And here's a good example. So in 2016, Evan McMuffin, who I'm forever going to call Evan McMuffin. No, dude, that was only the campaigns that I lost. That's it. Was trying to qualify for the ballot in a bunch of different states and technically qualified for the ballot in Florida, except our governor literally threw him off the ballot because he could. Didn't have to have a reason. Wasn't legal, not legal, whatever. He just said, no, he's not on the ballot. See ya. Sue me. Sucks for you. And that's the end of it. So I think we call them civilians, people who don't work in politics. Dude, it's literally what he did. Google it. Google Rick Scott Evan McMullen. It's literally what he did. He literally, in some states, and I know Indiana's different because Indiana actually we have open primaries. We have much easier ballot access laws. The Libertarian Party has full ballot access in Indiana, which people don't know. In Florida, the governor is the chief is the guy who is sort of the final determinant. That's how they wrote the laws. I don't know why. I feel like I'm John Gruden.
With the visor.
He's through the hole. I don't know why I keep doing this with my hands. Sorry, guys. And that's what happened is that Rick Scott threw Evan McMullen off the ballot. See, now we're getting questions that I'm not sure I can answer. So this one is going to be for you.
Okay.
Jessica, this is all you.
Okay. I think it will hurt the party a lot because I think that a lot of the younger people and younger members, that this is what they want. I mean, I'm 36. Most of the people that I'm friends with are like, yes, Queen to AOC and
Do that again.
And what is it? AOC plus whatever for whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. Squad. And they love her and they love them and they love the ideals. And I don't think that there's much chance for moderates in the future. I would say. I think that for people middle-aged, that's something that is attractive. But I think for younger people who graduated from college at a time when there was economic instability and they're still paying off their debts and it's difficult to find housing, that they want all this free stuff and they want candidates who support those.
What's your take on forgiving student loan debt?
It would be helpful, I think, for a lot of people. I understand that people think it's unfair, people who have already paid off their loans. I feel like if you give student loan forgiveness, you kind of have to give something to everyone, regardless of whether it's student loan debt or there has to be some huge tax credit, or I don't know. You can't just give college educated people this huge break and not everyone else.
Yeah.
It's complicated. I mean, right. I know how much it would really help people, but you took on these loans knowing you were going to have to pay them back.
Yeah, I don't argue that. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
No, Dave, listen, I hear you, man. And I think this is going to be something where a lot of us are going to disagree. Okay. And I respect that. And I hear what everybody's saying. But I guess part of my hope is that we in the future learn to have conversations about these things. And not just, fuck you, you're wrong, I hate you, I'm going to boycott you, cancel you, blah, 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 whatever. That we can go back to this. I mean, I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, I feel like there was a time in this country where we could have conversations about this stuff. Maybe not. Maybe I'm making this up, but I don't remember it being so polarized where all of a sudden you viewed everything through, some sort of a lens where. No, go ahead.
No, I think social media helps people grow some brass balls and say things that they would never say to someone's face.
Yes.
They could say it to their avatar, and that's fine. So I think people in person are a lot more willing to have a respectful conversation about things that they disagree upon versus on Twitter, where it's just really easy to lob bombs.
Yeah. And I think too, Aaron, and I think what we need to figure out is whether, and I'm not the guy to figure this out, is whether that's good or bad. And I tend to lean towards good. I think there should be more access, and there should be, there shouldn't be so many gatekeepers on things, and there shouldn't be. Was watching something last night on ESPN, and they were talking about. Do you remember when LeBron James and like a huge? Did my Bobby flag just come down? Oh man, damn! That's like a metaphor.
It's an omen.
It's a metaphor for this broadcast.
It's just falling apart. Oh, stop, Andrew.
Yeah, that could take on a couple different meetings that we're not going to talk about. So I was watching this thing. They were talking about when LeBron James left the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he had this whole broadcast, a decision thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've decided I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. Whatever, dude. But it was are you saying me or Bobby? Bobby Firmino. By the way, I don't know if people know who that is. That's Bobby Firmino. Give the ball to Bobby and he will score. And the idea was, and they were interviewing actually his agent, and his agent was saying basically that this was LeBron. This was what 10, 12 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying that this was LeBron's opportunity to control the message, that he wasn't going through the gatekeepers of the media, that he was creating his own platform and controlling his own message. And I sort of have mixed feelings about that, because here you and I are, you're in Connecticut, I'm in Florida. We're chatting with our friends on video, and we're able to do this because of the magic of social media and the access all of us have, and our opportunity to have free speech and to express our, that Donald Trump's a dipshit and a terrible president. We're allowed to say that. But then the flip side is the role of the media as our traditional gatekeepers. And as a guy who, I know we have some viewers on here, as a guy who made this argument back in the day of liberal media and liberal media bias or whatever, I used to be one of those guys. And there's some truth to that, by the way.
Like, oh, yeah.
The idea that, most journalists I know, and I know a lot of them because of the work that I've done over the years, probably 80% of them skew pretty far left. And they'll tell you that privately. That's one reason why a lot of them get into journalism in the first place, is that they want to change things by being reporters, by telling these stories. But have we gone too far? And I know we're an hour and 20 minutes into this or whatever, and maybe this is a conversation for another night. But have we gone too far where, we have a state rep here in Florida, Anthony Sabatini, who is building a national profile because he constantly tweets stupid things. Constantly. And I know Anthony a little bit. We're not best friends, but I've hung out with him. I've had beers with him. And he's an interesting guy. We had Joe on as our big get today. Anthony is in that mold. He's fascinating. He's well-spoken. He's intelligent. He can converse on 100 different conversations. But the guy's a troll. Literally all he's doing is trolling people. And yet he's building this national platform because he's trolling people. And at what point do you go to Parler, dude? At what point do you say too much access is dangerous? Or is there such a thing as too much access?
Ugh, that's a really deep one.
Yeah, that's what you get for hanging out with me.
Such a deep thinker, I know. I don't know. I think access is a really good thing. I think you need to be smart enough to shut out the noise.
Ooh.
Not everyone is, but you get to choose who you follow and what information you choose to consume. So if that's what you choose to consume, then that's your problem.
I know, Josh. I've already gotten 5 text messages. That's why I keep grabbing my phone. Dude, your flag. I know, man. Sorry. I'm trying to decide what's more unprofessional, just leaving it or turning around and going back and fixing it.
Just leave it.
I'm just going to leave it.
Just leave it.
It's a metaphor for my political career. Look good. Promising. God. I think I can hear Josh laughing, actually.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation 100 times. By the way, if y'all don't follow Josh, it's at Josh Gillespie on Twitter. Maybe my best friend, but certainly one of my closest friends on the kidney list. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We end our show. We've been running a little bit. We're almost an hour and a half. See, now I can see a timer.
Yeah,
so
it's helpful.
It actually is very helpful. We're going to open the floor. If anybody has a question, we will take a question or a comment. But otherwise, I'm going to tell the fine folks, we're going to shift our publication date to, thanks, brother. I mean, we're shifting publication date to Friday. We're not going to do week of Christmas for obvious reasons because we all have better things to do. But the email is going to be Fridays. We are going to do a paid option. So we were going to give the opportunity to read Jessica's writing. You're going to pay for it now because it's worth it. Don't look at me like that. You know what's happening. And we're going to be doing these on Friday nights. We're going to still do these every Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And this is now a paid software. So we're going to use this format, which I think works. And if you're not following us, it's on now I'm babbling because like I lost my train of thought. People are like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Sorry, Mom. We're on YouTube. So it's Monticello TV on YouTube. So if you're not following us, we're going to start doing some live stuff on YouTube as well.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Dude. Dude. Well, the good thing is there's no max contribution limit for Monticello.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
just saying.
No laws broken.
So we are going to do that. Josh, that's not the first time you've ever said that. Let's be honest. So I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm not seeing questions. I do want to thank, and I know I'm saying again now because I'm struggling. My wife's going to text me here in a second and be like, what are you doing? Stop with the ums. But I say this every week. I'm going to say it again. I appreciate y'all. Like I genuinely do. This was a thing that I decided I was going to do because I needed an outlet. I needed more practice writing. And I wanted to challenge myself and put myself in an uncomfortable position. Talked about it a little bit in today's email. I use the pandemic. I use my son as an example, but me personally, I use the pandemic to challenge myself and to make myself really uncomfortable. And for me, the most uncomfortable thing was writing every week and exposing my bullshit to the world. Not that I don't do that on Twitter, but you know, I'm used to it, and you know this, but for viewers at home who don't know this, I've spent most of my life writing for other people in either, no byline or somebody else's byline. And for me to publish something under my own name, Dave, it was a good game, dude. They actually won by 8 points, I think. So we're pretty happy about that. They lost last night by 6, I believe, but won tonight. And actually, the head coach of the other team is my son's AAU coach. So that was kind of a fun experience. But no, back to my point. And Josh knows this. I am on the introvert scale on a 1 to 10. I'm like a 9. Like I don't like people, and I don't like talking to people. I don't like the phone. I don't like being in public. I'm self-conscious because I'm 6'5". So I'm always the guy. I'm always the tallest person in the room. Always the one that people always notice. And doing these video broadcasts and writing the newsletter, beyond doing gay porn, it's probably the most uncomfortable thing I can think of doing. Sorry, Mom. But in all seriousness, this is the most uncomfortable thing I could think of doing, was me being on a video and talking to people that anybody can see this and exposing myself and putting out my writing and putting my name behind these things. And I appreciate you all. I appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate you, Ujic. Appreciate you, Aaron. Appreciate you, Andrew, Josh, obviously. You, of course, Jessica, for taking this journey with me. Building this community that we're building. It means a lot to me. And just so thanks to all of y'all. So,
well, thank you. And you put on a Trump hat for everyone.
I paid money for this.
It's dedication. Oh, God.
I paid, I think, $12 for this. $12 or $13, something like that.
Well, it's going to pay in dividends when you go to the rally tomorrow.
It is, and actually, I think it was $12 because I think I spent more money on the bottle of Gary O. Barton than I spent on the hat. So, just for those of you keeping score home. So,
yeah.
Anyway, cheers to y'all. Thanks again. Thanks
cheers,
for joining.
Thank you.
I think this is working. I like the new format. I will fix the flag by next week. I promise. No, Aaron.
No,
I bought it brand new on Amazon.
Just for this.
Just for this show. And you guys don't even pay for this. Like, how amazing is that? This is like the best free entertainment in America.
No.
I mean, probably not, but
probably not, but it's close.
All right. Let's Yeah, Aaron, I paid money for this.
I know.
Paid money for this. I'm kind of embarrassed. But all right, so we're gonna wrap it up. But cheers to y'all. Jessica, thanks.
Thank you.
Have a great night, and we'll see y'all soon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.